Welcome back to another episode. In today's video, we're going to talk about, again, as usual, we're going to talk about Bitcoin and the overall state of the crypto markets, right? So let me start with the macro outlook. The last time I showed you this chart for Bitcoin, I had kind of drawn these trend lines, symmetrical triangle trend lines at the wicks, but I kind of decided to move it up towards the candlestick bodies. That makes a lot more sense and kind of gives you a conservative approach, right? So the symmetrical triangle forecasts 26% upswing or a downswing depending on where it breaks out. So other than that, you have these important macro levels that I'm looking at, which have kind of remained the same. The bullish outlook for me, or when I'm going to flip bullish, is if we get a weekly close above $52,000, right? And if we get a weekly close below 35,000, I'm going to flip bearish, and I'm going to uh, start looking to buy some spot Bitcoin around 29.8k, where I'm expecting Bitcoin to probably which this is where I'm expecting the price to bottom. This is the first potential bottom that I'm looking at, and the second bottom is around $25,378, roughly 25.4k. And the reason why I believe this is a potential bottom, I've explained it in my previous videos over here, probably in this video. I've did it in this video as well, so check it out. I'm going to add it in the cards. You can just click on the link on the cards above, right? So back to the symmetrical triangle, right? So assuming we get a bullish outlook, right, we get a breakout above this upper trend line here, in which case you can expect the theoretical targets put Bitcoin at roughly 54k, right? If we get this, then I'm going to flip bullish, right? We get something like this, I'm going to flip bullish, then I'm going to look for a higher low compared to these lows around here, or probably even here, and this is where I'm going to be buying, stocking up, and expecting the price to head higher, right? So in which case the next level that I'm going to looking at is the 60,000 psychological level, which is somewhere around here, and obviously beyond that 69k, which is the current all-time high. So this is your typical bullish outlook. So yeah, and another bullish outlook that I want to show is around here. So another way you can draw this trend line here is you can make it into a symmetrical triangle, or you can make it into an ascending triangle where the price is formed almost on the horizontal resistance level here at 44.4k, and increasing higher lows from Jan 22nd. So this technical formation forecasts a 21% outlook. So assuming we get a bullish breakout, which is like a daily close above 44.4k, then I'm expecting the price to head up to 53k. In both of these cases, in this case and this case, the bullish outlook, the bullish outlook targets, right, is well beyond my level where I'm going to flip bullish, which is 52k, right? This target, this technical formation predicts 54k, and this one predicts roughly 53k. So in both of these, the bullish outlook makes sense, at least from the patterns that I've drawn here. But if you look at the global in slash out of the money, which is into the blocks transaction data, this index shows that the immediate resistance level here, which extends from roughly 42k to 43k, is extremely weak, relatively speaking, of course. So we're obviously going to breeze through this. In case of an uptrend, right, we're going to breeze through this, but the next resistance cluster area, right, extends from roughly 43k to 51k, where roughly 6.2 million addresses purchased 3.25 million BTC, right? And the current prices are roughly around here, right? So these investors that purchase Bitcoin are currently out of the money. That means they're under loss. So if price ever heads up to 47k, 43k, even 50k, then you can expect a lot of pushback from the investors over here trying to break even. So the upside essentially is capped roughly around 47k, which is way below the levels that we predicted from a theoretical standpoint. So instead of 54k or 53k, I believe the upside, at least from an option perspective, seems to be capped around 47k, right? So 47k is just above this yearly open, So I don't see it honestly. Like I start opening, so I tried opening with the bullish outlook, bullish sentiment this video, but honestly I'm not bullish. And the reason, there are actually a couple reasons, right? So the first reason is the estimated leverage ratio. As you can see here, the estimated leverage ratio hit an all-time high on 15th March, right, at 0.218. And this metric is extremely important because if the markets are highly coiled, then you can expect like even a minor fluctuation or like a volatile move could cause a lot of investors to get liquidated, right? And every bottoming process usually has one capitulation move. For example, here it was this move for Bitcoin from in May, from 8th May to probably 20th July is when the price actually crashed a lot, and you can see the leverage ratio dropped from roughly 0.18 to all the way down to 0.09, right? Something similar also happened in March 2020, which is the estimated leverage ratio at that time dropped from roughly 0.11 all the way down to 0.066. So this is one of the major reasons why I don't want to have any leverage positions on for a very long time. Uh, any leverage position that I open or post on my Twitter account is basically a short-term scalp. Although you cannot call it a scalp because sometimes they're on the 1 hour time frame, 4 hour time frames. So these trades that I take are very short-lived, is basically what I'm trying to say. So this is one of the major reasons why I don't want to go long-term, don't want to open long-term positions. I don't want to get in spot. And apart from this, you also have the open interest, right? Open interest is extremely crucial in identifying like if the price is actually, if the price move actually has strength behind it. For example, if the price rises and the open interest continues to decline, that is a bearish signal, right? It means that the market is either over leveraged or like the price uptick that you see is a fluke. And what's happening right now is the OI has continuously been dropping. You can see lower highs being produced since its all-time high here, roughly around 8 November, right? But I can see some sort of stabilization taking place around here because the price, the OI bottomed at roughly 10.4 billion, and then we moved down to 9.8, 9.6 billion, and we're currently hovering around 9 to 10 billion dollars of open interest. So I want to see a higher high and then a higher low for this kind of at least rethink my bearish thesis. Apart from this, another major telltale sign that the bottom is not near is this total supply and loss indicator, which is basically it gives you the number of bitcoins that are currently being held at a loss. And right now we're currently hovering around roughly 7 million, and this is not adjusted for supply, right? So if you look at Glassnode's recent blog, which was published on 14th or 15th of March, it says that roughly 82% of these coins, which is roughly 2.51 million bitcoins, are currently held at a loss. And these coins, as you can see here, are going to be the major source of supply if there is a capitulation event, right? So this indicator alone, combined with the estimated leverage ratio, kind of gives you like a complete picture of how the market is right now. It is tightly wound, and that capitulation move is still not here, so the bottom is not there yet. So being patient, I think, is like the best thing to do right now. So to sum it up, right, the bullish outlook, be it this ascending triangle or this symmetrical triangle, honestly doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I still believe like this consolidation is going to continue for quite some time, and in the future, hopefully, we will head down to maybe a weekly close below 35K is what we're looking at, and if that happens, then I'm looking forward to the liquidity sweep below 29.8K. Right, this is what you should be looking at, and this is where you would ideally want to start accumulating bitcoins. Any dip below this would be really amazing. So from a short to midterm outlook, things are looking pretty good, I would say, considering how I'm expecting. Like I'm a little bearish right now, so that I can accumulate a lot here. So, but from an uber long-term perspective, right? If you check out these two things, right, it's going to be really interesting. Yeah. So the Bitcoin holdings of publicly listed Bitcoin miners, right? Bitcoin miners are unwilling to let go of their Bitcoin holdings, or the things that they mine. As you can see here, this tweet from Charon Marathon, which is a mining company, right? And it's holding roughly 9,000 Bitcoins. And another thing that I wanted to point out is this metric, supply and exchange metric, has dropped down to levels that was last seen in December 2018, right? It's down to roughly 1.95 million, which is amazing. Which from an extremely long-term outlook, you can say that the long-term holders are still bullish, and yeah, and I don't see any sort of massive downswings apart from, like, heading down to 24, 25k, even 30k. So this is really an interesting metric and something to uh, summarize this whole big picture outlook that I just wanted to give you out. So that's pretty much it for the analysis. To sum it up, do not be in a hurry to open leverage long positions, at least for if you, yeah, do not be in a hurry to open leverage long positions. That is going to last for a very long time, because I still feel like the market is extremely and tightly wound, and that a capitulation move is still on its way. And this, I don't feel like this is the bottom. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Thank you guys for showing so much love on these videos. Please comment if you have any doubts. You can hit me up on Twitter at Mangeko with the zero at the end. And as for the trading thing, the document is still there. I still haven't completed it. I'm gonna publish it on my Twitter once it's done. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just let me know what kind of content you want from me in the future. If you want more altcoin setups, if you want trade setups or explanation of trades, trade setups, something like that. So yeah, have a great weekend.